Daf Mem He Amud Aleph, 13 lines from the top. Tashma. We're going to ask a question against the opinion who held that Bet Shemai would not allow you to use Maaser Sheni to be redeemed directly onto gold. Tashma. Haporet Selim Out Maaser Sheni, if someone wants to convert Maaser Sheni coins into silver, copper Maaser Sheni coins into silver. Bet Shemai Amrim B'chol HaSelam Out, you can exchange all the copper into silver, but Tel Amrim B'Shekel Kesef Shema'ot, do partial copper, keep partial as copper, and you could do some of the silver. The reason being is because they don't want to drive the prices up too much if everybody starts rushing to redeem everything. So don't do the entire your whole stash of copper at the same time. However, we see actually the guy who says that you can do maaser sheni fruit onto copper, like so for sure you can do fruit onto gold. Whereas no, shani priti copper is different. Because in some places it's very popular and it's circulated there very currently, more than gold. We have a whole different version of the machloket. We said that before, but now we're going to learn a different version. How the machloket was named to the name? One opinion says machloket between Bet Shammai and Bet Hillel only regarding silver maaser sheni onto gold. The Bet Shammai says that the Torah says the money to teach you kesef rishon below kesef sheni. You have to redeem it from gold to silver once, so from fruits to money only once and not twice. You can't redeem it a second time. When it says money, it says money to include. If you want to redeem it twice, you can. Everybody would agree that you can do fruit to gold, which doesn't allow you to do 2 ways. Let's say fruit to silver to gold. Because still that's considered one gold, one money. From fruit to apples directly to money and not double. But other opinion holds, that only one opinion of Rav Yochanan and Shakish. Other opinion holds that no, it is a machloket also Bet Hillel in regarding fruit into gold directly. According to the opinion holds that there is machloket by silver to gold. If there's machloket between Bet Shammai and Bet Hillel regarding silver to gold, right? So according to the machloket that you can't do silver to gold because if double down, you can't do 2 coins. Maybe you want there's the machloket even silver to silver. You don't even have to mention silver to gold. If you argue between slaim to slaim, you might only think that is a machloket of slaim not slaim, but you might work from silver to gold. Maybe Bet Hillel will agree with Bet Shammai that it can't be done. Because gold to fruit is considered gold to silver is considered fruit. Maybe you can't do it. Therefore, Mishnah has specifically mentioned silver to gold to say that Bet Hillel allows it. Tashma. If someone's coming to change Maaser Sheni silver into copper in Yerushalayim, Bet Shammai says whole haselam out, you can change the whole thing, but you can only do partial, like we said. Now we're asked the question: now that we see that you can change silver to copper, but we didn't say anything about one money to second money. So maybe by silver to gold to fish sure work, right? Prove against what Bet Shammai would say. You're asking us a question about bringing money to Yerushalayim. Shani Yerushalayim is different. Yerushalayim has a green light. The only time we had questions was before Yerushalayim. But Yerushalayim itself is fine. You can spend your money however you want, no matter what you want to buy. So if you want to change your money as many times as you want, you can in Yerushalayim. The machloket between Bet Shammai and Bet Hillel, but exchanging your money more than once is outside Yerushalayim. Tashma. Same thing again. If you want to exchange silver to copper to silver, Zarli, Bet Shammai says go for it. Bet Hillel says don't do the whole thing. So we see that Bet Shammai doesn't allow one money to second money outside Yerushalayim in that case. Rather, everybody agrees Bet Hillel that Bet Shammai, but would agree that you can do from one money to second money. Even second round. Copper to silver to whatever you want. And like each money what's the machloket version that this version machloket is? The machloket is silver to gold. The Bet Shammai maybe Bet Shammai would hold that you can't do it because maybe Shemai Yisha Al Yotav, maybe a person will wait to go to Yerushalayim. Because maybe he doesn't have enough silver to make it into a single gold coin. Right? He only has 30% of a gold coin. He's wait, and therefore he won't go. He won't bring it to Yerushalayim. He said that he was like, no, I'm not worried about someone delaying it. If he doesn't have enough gold, he'll just bring up his silver without exchanging it into gold. But everybody would agree that you can do Maser Shani straight onto gold. The Kevin did because since fruits can spoil, they're not going to delay. Other Amoras is the machlok between Bet Shammai and Bet Hillel even regarding fruit to gold. Now we have many versions of the machloket between Rish Lakish and Rechanan, how to explain the machloket of Bet Shammai and Bet Hillel. So now we're going to say Bish everything makes sense according to this last version that says that Midoraita Bet Shammai Bet Hillel would agree you can do silver to gold. V'Rabbanan Hudagazre, and it's only machloket, it's only a Gezerah de Rabbanan according to Bet Shammai that you're not allowed to do it because he might not go to Yerushalayim. Yeah, sorry. That's why the Mishnah used the lashon of making and not making. Can you make it or can you not make it into gold? And after according to the second last version, that the previous version that Bet Shammai Bet Hillel argue that it's midoraita or not, and it ended up with the question. According to the thing that holds the right that you can't do it. So the wording in the Mishnah is interesting because if you're not allowed to exchange it into a different type of currency, it should say you're not allowed to be mehalel it. You can't change the redemption of it. Not making. Making means that you're just easily transferring it. But if it's the right to transfer, and as a machlok with that, you can the right minatura transfer the money. It should have used the word of chilu of changing it, but it didn't. And the Gemara says it's a question according to that version. Anywho, we also mentioned earlier that if you're selling something, the seller taking the cash is not making the acquisition, but rather the buyer taking the merchandise is the acquisition. So let's go. Itmar Rabbi Levi is Machlok between Rabbi and Levi. Charamar matbea naseh chalipin. One of them says a coin can be used as chalipin. Charamar en matbea naseh chalipin. Other opinion holds coin cannot be used as chalipin. So what's chalipin in the first place? Whoever's gotten married has done this with the handkerchief. The concept of handing something to somebody and then raising the item and using that item, whether it's a handkerchief or in this case, we're asking if a coin can work instead, to transfer ownership of something else. So, can a coin be used? Why would it not work? Because the guy who's selling it is having in mind on the figure or the form of the coin, the image of the coin. King Batich the third, he's the reason why I'm machshiv. I think that the coin has value, and therefore the value of the coin is inherently on the seller's mind, on the person or the form of the coin, and that's not transferable. That's not the money. Therefore, it shouldn't work. Done. Mishnah says, "Has zahav konet kesef." We said our Mishnah that the gold can acquire the silver coins. My love halipin, like we're talking about cases of halipin. And like coins can be used for halipin. The Gemara says, "Nah, la bit means where silver is worth it is given as money. It's cash. Cash, silver is being used to buy gold." Why would the Mishnah say that the gold can acquire the silver? Rather, should it say the gold is mechayev, it obligates the guy to give silver, meaning the gold can be used as a transaction that you should pay for with silver. You're obligating payment of silver. Why say acquire? The Gemara says Tani zahav mechayev. It says in Echnami you can read it as the gold obligates silver. Hachnami staber, we can also prove it as well. And then the second part of Mishnah said Hakesef inu konet zahav. The silver does not acquire the gold. It makes sense to say they're talking about payment of money. You're selling the gold for silver. That makes sense because we said earlier the gold is considered the merchandise and the silver is considered the cash. And the silver selling of the seller of the money does not acquire the produce. The seller, the gold is not acquiring the silver. Rather than vice versa. If you're telling me it's chalipin, where you're raising the item connects it automatically, Any of them can acquire the other one. If a coin can be used, then it doesn't make a difference what's being used. But also another proof, the silver does not acquire the gold. If that's the case, if you sell 25 silver coins for one gold dinar, we said that that's the ratio between silver to gold. Even though the gold owner is taking the silver coins, the guy is not acquired until the guy takes the gold, which is the merchandise. It makes sense according to cash. It makes sense that's why they didn't acquire it, because the gold is considered the merchandise. And therefore you can't acquire it unless you pick up the gold. But if you're saying that coins can be used as chalipin, then you should be acquiring it easily because you're just lifting the item. Versus so what's the case of the Mishnah? The Brita is referring to money. Is a sale? But the beginning of the Brita said, has a half kunet kesef. The gold acquires silver. Ketat. Machal dinar someone sold a gold dinar for 25 silver coins. Once the guy take the gold coin, the buyer, the silver is acquired no matter where it is. Ooh, powerful words. That only makes sense for Chalipin. That's specifically saying that you're acquiring wherever it is. That's the concept of Chalipin, that I could be over here, you could be next to me, I hand you a tissue, you lift the tissue, and you acquire my property in Virginia. But if you want to tell me that it's about cash, that's therefore the lashon of wherever the silver is key, because that sounds like Chalipin. But if you're telling me that it's cash, why would it say that you acquire wherever it is? It should rather say you're obligated to pay the silver. Like cash. Not a question. The Lambda means referring to cash. Why did we use that lashon, that language of wherever it is? As is when he told them, which means if he tells them, I'm going to give you fresh minted coins, brand new silver, you can't give him old tarnished coins. Even though they might be even better than the new ones. Why? I need them in order to, I want them specifically the new ones. Meaning, when he says wherever they are, doesn't mean location. It rather means what type of coins they are. And therefore, if he promised him for the gold coin, I'll pay you 25 new silver coins, I can't give you old ones because I promised that, and the guy might want it specifically. I feel even according to holds that you can't use a coin for chalipin. It's only that the coin can't make chalipin. It can be mikne by but coins can be acquired through chalipin. Meaning, according to Pinham, that the coin can't be used as chalipin. However, you can use chalipin, i.e., with a handkerchief, to acquire coins. Like we said, like merchandise, like fruits, even though according to Rahman, you can't use fruits as chalipin, you can't use produce as chalipin, you still can you acquire fruits through chalipin. Therefore, so two coins are no different. Even though you may not be able to use it according to that one opinion as chalipin, you can still acquire it through chalipin. If someone's standing at the threshing floor, and he has all this grain being threshed and he wants to acquire it, redeem it as Ma'aser Shani. He doesn't have cash. These fruits are given to you. These acquires, we're going to see what he's trying to do, but he also gains something from this because he's giving it to him and then he wants to redeem it. We mentioned, I believe in Baba Kamal, that if you're redeeming money, you're redeeming fruits from Ma'aser Shani to bring it up to Yerushalayim, if it's $100, you pay $120. It's like a $20 fee or charge to not bring up the stuff that you have. You have to pay 20% on top of the fruit's value as a surcharge for bringing cash instead of the produce that you grew. So if he gives it to his friend, then he redeems it, he's patur from that fee. Anyhow, I didn't tell the original owner, tells him, those fruits are now transferred over to the coins I have in my house. So he's thereby also bypassing the fee. Anyhow, sounds like the only reason why it works in that case is because he doesn't have cash. But if he has cash, he should transfer him over to his friend through a kinyan like Mashicha, uparik. Then let his friend redeem it, because that's an easier way of avoiding that charge of the fee. Because he's considered like an outsider. But if you tell me that coins can be acquired through chalipin, you don't even need all this. Even if he doesn't have cash, even if he has cash, you can acquire you can let the coins in his house be transferred to his friend through that chalipin. Give him a handkerchief, hand him a tissue, and say, okay, with this tissue, you're acquiring the coin. Boom, you do everything in one shot without even having to move, and you could transfer everything and avoid the surcharge. Gemara says, let the sudar, easy answer, no handkerchief, can't use anything. Gemara says, let him transfer a small piece of property. You can do that as well. At the minuscule size of property is chalipin, and through that property, of transfer that property, you're acquiring something else, like the fruits and or money in his house. Gemara says, let the karka, he doesn't own property. When the Gordon, he says he's standing in a threshing floor, in a threshing house. If he's in the threshing house, he could use a part of that property. Where it says the Gordon is not his house, not his threshing location. Why would the Breitah teach us a case of a guy who has absolutely nothing to use, a guy who has no clothing, obviously, to use his chalipin? He can't use a shirt, he can't use a handkerchief. Why is this case? We must see from this Mishnah that what? A coin cannot be through chalipin. We prove from here that yes, you can't use money as chalipin, like we said earlier. You can do stuff through you can acquire coins through chalipin, but you can't use it as the chalipin itself. Rabbi, however, then retracted as well, even though he said earlier that you can, he then says you can't. Papa had 12,000 dinars by somebody in the house of the town of Beit Hozai. In order to give them back, he transferred them to the possession of Rav Shmuel bar Abba through a small piece of land. Like we said, he transferred it through the property. A small piece of land he transferred through the land. He also transferred this 12,000 coins, and so that Rav Shmuel bar Abba can get the money for him. So he used kinyan agav. He used the land to transfer that. And we see that he didn't use kinyan sudar. He didn't use chalipin. He didn't use a handkerchief. Therefore, we see he didn't do that. So, but the point was that he wanted Shmuel ba'acha to own the money so that he can retrieve the debt. Kiatam, when Shmuel was coming back with the money, Rapama was so happy that he was doing it for him. He went to meet him in the town of Tavach to retrieve the money and meet him there.